Acumatica Integrated Order Management empowers companies to streamline processes and make smarter, faster business decisions. It will allow you to improve your customer service and save time and money by automating processes. In this video, we're going to take a look at the order to invoice process, where we will create a new sales order, ship the order, invoice the customer, and then view the financial records in our accounts receivable. Let's start by going into the sales order menu and using the new sales order tile to open up the sales order entry screen. I can search for or key in the customer code here. When I start to type the code, the type ahead function starts to narrow down my selection. I'll pick my customer and the default data such as location, contact and currency will be automatically populated. There are a few different ways that I can manually enter line items on this order. I could just add a new row and then select the stock item from my inventory list. I can search on this list by both item code and item description. Once selected, the item is returned to my sales order row, and you'll see that down the bottom here I can view the on-hand, available and allocated figures. Another way of entering a line item is to use the Add Items function. This is a more advanced inventory search than just using the list that we saw previously. We can search by barcode or even item class. We can also choose to only see items that are currently in stock. Then from this list we can simply tick the item that we want and then click Add to add to the sales order. If this is a regular customer and they are ordering an item that they've purchased before, then we can use the Sold Since mode and return a list of items that have previously been purchased. If it's something that they purchased a while back, we can change the view to show more items sold to the customer from a specified date. I can now choose the item the customer requires, then click on Add and Close to return the lines to my order. Acumatica provides multiple mechanisms for maintaining sales prices. You can define a base price lists applicable to a specific customer or group of customers, lists of promotional prices, or prices that depend on the quantity of the product being sold. You can also define a default price for each individual item to fall back on if no other price is defined for it in the system. On this Acer laptop line, you can see that we are currently purchasing one item for a unit price of 500. However, if I change this to be 3 items, you'll see the quantity pricing coming into effect here and changing the unit price to 475. For any of these line items, I can drill down and see further information on availability and location. Whilst on the line I want to inquire on, if I click on the item availability, I can see my current sales order allocation. Then if I go into the inventory summary, I can see how many I have in stock in this particular location, but I can also change the warehouse to see the availability I have in other places. The next thing we are going to do is calculate the shipping rates. If I go to my Order Shipping tab and then into Shop for Rates, you can see Acumatica has calculated my order weights. And then if I go to Refresh Rates, I can load in all of the rates for the carriers that I am subscribed to. So if I choose to use FedEx Ground, you can see that it has calculated me a shipping cost, and then on the packages section it has also suggested that I'm going to need 2 medium boxes. You will see that it has updated the package weight at the top here. Once we return back to the sales order, we can now go and view the Totals tab and see a summarised view of the freight information with our newly updated FedEx charge, complete order totals, and then calculated amounts and quantities. Now that this order has been fully entered, we can choose to email a copy of the order to the customer. Once I choose Email Sales Order, Acumatica will send an email to the customer with a copy of the order attached. I can go and view this by clicking on the Activities button and then viewing, firstly the email, and then a filed copy of the sales order document which went with the email as an attachment. In this case, I've chosen to send the email manually, but this can be set up to be an automated process. Now that we've created the sales order with some line items, seen the volume discount, added the shipping and emailed the acknowledgement, the next stage of the process is to create the actual shipment. I'll click on the Create Shipment button and Acumatica will now create the shipping record. Within here, I can view the planned package details and weights and see the line items that are to be shipped. I now need to send a picking list to the warehouse to tell them what they need to pick and where they can find it. Again, this process can be carried out automatically, however I'm going to print it manually for this demonstration. You'll see the pick list details what the warehouse staff need to pick, and also the location that the item can be found in. There are barcode details on here too. Acumatica has a full warehouse management module that is covered in further detail in a separate recording. Once the order has been picked and packed by the warehouse, the next stage is to confirm the shipment has been completed. So I'll click on the Confirm Shipment button, and this will tell the system that the goods have physically gone from the warehouse. What this also does is provide the packaging information. So I can see on the Packages tab that I now have a tracking number, but in addition to this, I also have a shipping label attached. This is nice as it has been created within Acumatica and I've not had to use a third-party product to produce it. Now that the shipment has gone, I could choose to email the customer to let them know that their order's on the way, and even include that tracking number in the email for them. The last stage of the process is to generate the invoice. Again, we can do this automatically, but in this case I will step through this process manually. The first step is to choose Prepare Invoice. This will create a draft invoice transaction for us to review. At the moment, it hasn't updated the general ledger as it hasn't yet been released. Providing we're happy with the invoice, then we can just choose to release it and have the general ledger, accounts receivable and inventory records update accordingly. Once released, we can go to the Financial Details tab and then view the GL postings. Firstly, it's showing me the accounts receivable postings where I can see the AR, revenue and freight transactions. Then if I change the module to inventory, I can view the associated inventory postings as well. Now, if we go to our accounts receivable menu and then open up this customer's account, we'll now be able to see the new invoice on that customer's ledger. So that concludes our brief look at the order to invoice process within Acumatica. For a more in-depth tailored demonstration or for further information, please contact us on the phone number or the email address shown on the screen. Many thanks for watching.